Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Command Point Podcast. I am Shane. I'm here with my co host, Ryan. Ryan, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. Uh, we've got a heck of a topic today.
We do. And I,
Also, this is not the Command Point podcast. This is just Command Point.
oh, yeah, true. Welcome to Command Point. Welcome to the overarching network that is Command Point
Yes.
at this stage. So, today's topic, as you already know because you have clicked on this video and you saw the thumbnail and the title, and it looks very spicy. I get it. Um, we decided, for those of you that are newer, and we have a lot of subscribers since this video came out, but we have one video that we have ever uploaded, one piece of content we've ever uploaded that was hated.
Our
People just
most
hated.
controversial piece.
Yeah, and it was a video, and this was back when we had like around like 200 or 300, maybe not even that many subscribers,
Yeah.
and it was called "The Problem with Custodes." And in this video, we talked. Maybe we could have done a better job describing it, but we talked about why we don't think Custodes are a very good faction for competitive. I still believe that to this day, but man, people tore us apart on that video. They hated it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
naturally, we have decided to revisit the series and do another episode of Problem with, um, of course, because this is what we're doing. But we, I think we have a much more concise and clear understanding of why Necrons are a problem in Kill Team. I don't want this to just be because I say this with a lot of weight. I'm trying to put a lot of weight into this topic because I would love to get the community behind this notion that we're going to talk about here. Um, Necrons are a serious problem in competitive play. They have a litany of issues. But before we get into it, I want to preface I am not attacking you, Necron players. I really am not. I'm attacking the faction and the balance of it. Um, I am a Necron player. I'm currently playing them in the Worldwide Open.
Yeah.
So this isn't in anything we talk about, like contextually, like anecdotally. We're not attacking any players who have taken this faction far, because there are a lot of genuinely good players that have taken the faction far. So in our last YouTube video, we talked about the 5 most broken things in Kill Team, and about a third of that video was spent talking about reanimation protocols.
Yes.
So if you haven't listened to that, just at least that part um, of that video, and you've clicked on this, pause this, go to that video, watch the part where we talk about reanimation protocols, and then come back, because I don't want to have to repeat all of what I said in that part.
Yeah.
Is that fair? I mean,
Yeah.
reanimation protocols has been it's ridiculous. It's been done to death. Um, Obviously, Novak is really strong. Lich guards are really strong, but I think reanimation is what takes them over the top.
Like it's not just you have to get lucky. I mean, this is a dice game. You have to have good rolls in order to succeed. But there is no faction that punishes bad luck the way Necrons do. They're really in a league of their own in that aspect due to their resurrection protocols and how that interaction works. But yeah,
Yeah,
and this isn't just like our personal opinion anymore. Over the past year, we have gone through and played probably 4 tournaments, I believe, over on the command point, like run them through the command point Discord. We've played them over TTS, um, and we've collected data on Necrons, thanks to Tim from Data Team, and then our own Sean Perry. And what the results, we knew Necrons were good in competitive, but we didn't really realize how good they were until we pulled up some of this data. Shane, so do
yeah.
you want to?
This data is crazy. Like when we were going over it, like I expected to see like a pattern of Necrons dominating, having a good win rate consistently, but like holy crap, it is like it is pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess before we get into the contextual part of this analysis, we're just going to give you guys the flat numbers. So first we looked at tournaments, because all like the specifically TTS era tournaments. And if you go back before TTS era, It doesn't hurt our argument, by the way. We just only went through TTS because we have the actual data. But you can look at the big tourneys that were going on before TTS, like LVO and like a lot of the BAO preps over there on the West Coast, and Necrons were
Hmm.
still dominating then. But for the sake of having clear, concise data, we took all the TTS tournaments and we took a look at how Necrons have performed. And looking through, we had a win rate of 35 wins, and I believe it was 15 losses.
35 wins, 18 losses. So for you guys keeping track at home, this was out of 53 games, and 66.4% of the games which Necrons played in, they wound up winning.
Yes, which is a funny statistic because 66% is the odds of a Necron surviving an injury roll
That's
at
right.
any given time, assuming it's a one damage injury roll and they don't have a flesh wound. Um, just no matter what, like no matter what the strength is or the AP or
Yeah,
how
it's an
many
odd
attacks.
coincidence.
Um, and needless to say, 66%, that's pretty good. But then
It's
we
it's
thought,
extremely high.
yeah, but then we thought, well, wait a minute, how many mirror matches are we accounting for? Because there's been a lot of times where Necrons in our tournaments have played other Necron players, and somebody's got to lose, right? So we looked at that, and it turned out a third of the losses were Necron mirror matches. So Necrons losing to other Necrons. And of course, a third being the 33% once again. It's like we can't escape from this number. Um, totally, probably mostly coincidental, but still hilarious. Um, and then I thought, well, hold on. There is more to this because on the Command Point Discord, for those of you that are on there, you know that there are tons of ranked games that are played outside of tournaments because we have a setup for like the ELO rankings where you can play ranked games, just like we have a looking for ranked TTS channel, and you can match up with other players and climb through the leaderboard without necessarily having to play in tournament games. Um, so there is a big sample size of Necron games that we were just missing from this data over the past year. So this is specifically talking about competitive games, not like pickup games or whatever, although something tells me the statistics for pickup games aren't that different.
Oh no.
Um, so I reached out to Tim, data team, and I asked him because when we upload games like results of non-tournament rank games to the Discord, he has us put the faction in, which means that hypothetically he could look back and see just how good Necrons are doing rather than just looking at player by player results. And I asked him and he got back to me super quick. So thank you, Tim. Shout out to you. And when you combine the tournament and the non-tournament, all the ranked games over the past year on TTS that have happened through our Discord, um, Necrons have a total win rate of 70 and 26. 70 wins, 26 losses. I don't have the exact percentage, but it's over 75. No, I think it's 73% exactly, like rounded. But yeah, I mean that looking through other things, that dwarfs any other win rate that we have over the last year through our tournaments. And like I said, if you go before TTS, we don't have the data for this, but if you go before TTS and you look at their tournament placings, it's you have Glass Half Dead placing top 4 at LVO with Necrons. You have Paul Martisich over on the West Coast just stomping prep tourneys with Necrons. Um, this faction is brutal.
Yeah. So the win loss ratio is incredible. And it's not just because we've had, like, really good experienced players picking up this faction. We've had multiple instances of brand new players making deep tournament runs just on our Discord alone, just by picking up Novak Necrons. And that's no disrespect to those players. It's just highlighting the fact that this faction is so broken right now that it just absolutely stomps everything. The win loss ratio, when you factor in the elo games outside of just our tournaments, I believe it's a better win loss ratio than what Iron Hand Space Marines had towards the tail end of 8th edition 40K.
Yeah, I mean it is very like at least in Kill Team, it's totally unprecedented that any faction is this dominant. And like you said, um, like top four, like when we say brand new players coming in and rolling through tournaments with this faction, I mean actually like brand new players. Like in one instance, somebody placed top four, and it was literally their first time. They had no Kill Team experience before the tournament. Um, and then I'm comfortable saying this player's name because we talk about it all the time. He's a friend of ours. But Benji Ryle on the Discord, a lot of you guys know him. He placed third at BAT, the biggest Kill Team tournament that has ever been hosted. And he had a little bit of Kill Team experience, but he was essentially brand new going into that tournament. No, again, no disrespect to him or any of the other Necron players, but this is a faction that we have seen allows people to punch above their weight, so to speak, repeatedly. Like Matt Hurl, like probably one of the best players around, lost to like a 12-year-old the other night in a
Yeah, he
different,
literally said that, right?
yeah,
He
in a
lost
different
to a 12
tournament.
year old.
Yeah, he lost to a 12-year-old Necron player, and Matt is an insanely good player. He won the Command Point Invitational. It is getting to the point where as a community we have to consider where do we at what point do we do something about it, because I say this really I've tiptoed around stuff like this for a long time because it's nobody wants to come out and say let's change something with the game mechanics for our tournaments.
When you're presented with evidence like this, it's like, okay, this is like literally like, why does any competitive player play anything other than Necrons if they're there to win a tournament?
When I was debating whether to take Orcs or Necrons before this tournament, I was talking to Biernet about it, and we kind of came to the conclusion that if I want to win and if I'm taking it as seriously as possible, I it's objectively the right choice to just take Necrons,
Yeah.
because I mean I've been trying to like optimize and take something as far as I can and play at a level that I where I feel like I can consistently win, and I think a lot of that comes down to finding something that is really really strong and exploiting it. And right now, Necrons, it's just like if you're not playing Necrons and you truly want to win and like that's your number one priority, and you're not playing Necrons, you're doing it wrong.
Sad, sad but true. So one other thing that I want to mention that we don't have in the notes here is that these tournaments that we've drawn our sample size from and the outside tournament games, these are not like the same tournament packets.
Yeah,
Every single one of these tournaments has had a different packet with a different rule set, um, different primary objectives, different secondary objectives. And for a faction like Necrons to have that sort of dominance across a myriad of different competitive formats is it's unprecedented, and it's obvious that this faction is broken.
yeah. That's something that I was going to bring up, and I'm glad you did because I kind of forgot about it. But we used to think that the problem was that we were playing hold kill, because Necrons love hold kill, like BAO, LVO. That is a really strong primary format, and we used to think that was the problem. And then we moved down to hold 100 points, and they're still crushing. And now we're looking at Zenith, which is 125 hold, and they're still crushing. And if you go back to even pre-elites when they didn't have Novak or Lich Guards, they were when Necron players showed up, they were top four. It is a tough thing to grapple with because I have put so many hours into keeping the like competitive scene alive for this game, and to see this, it's like this faction bums me out. They it's getting to the point where like some people, myself included, on the Discord are kind of saying like for as far as the ranked goes for like non-tournament rank games, we're saying like I like if you want to like I don't really want to play games against Necrons. I'm sorry, because it's just gambling. It's basically you're just gambling your points. Um, you don't get to create situations where math is ever in your favor. Um, you are always hoping to get lucky, and I don't see it getting any better from here. I know a lot of people are saying, well, let's wait for Pry and Excess and see if they change anything, but I don't think they're going to change mechanics like reanimation protocols. I don't think they're going to change point values. I think we're just going to see Necrons slowly getting more units, and if anything, probably just getting better as they get more options. And I mean, if Pry and Excess comes out and there's changes like nerfs, I'll be surprised. But I mean, I will be I'll be pleasantly surprised. So there's that. I'm not holding my breath for that. So I guess I wanted to say because as a TO and somebody that is hosting tournaments, if not running them and organizing them, if there is anybody like a playtester, like a like a Mike Brandt or a like a Ben Cash or somebody out there that is hearing this video, if this makes its way to you, I want to put out like a public question. And if you could reach out to me or Ryan, that would be amazing. What do you think we should do about this? Because what do you think is the right call? Because I'm not sure what to do at this point, and nobody wants to be the guy to put out a thing saying like we're going to change the way injury rules work for our tournaments because specifically because of Necrons. Because you could do something like that. You could say for our tournaments, instead of taking the highest result on an injury roll for a multi-damage injury roll, you pick the best result, and bam, that would be like a one-word change, and it would not change anything except for the way multi-damage works against Necrons. I mean, is this a crazy thing to suggest? And I don't know. I would love to hear from an actual playtester or somebody that is working on the game hands-on. If not to hear this as a plea to please change the faction, like throw us a bone, give us something because there's a problem and something's got to give, right?